Psychic Dolphin Garage.
Hey everyone, welcome to another of hopefully many Friday feature episodes of Psychic Dolphin Garage. On this week's special episode, we are going to be playing a bracket game. But before we dive into that, some introductions. I'm one of your hosts, Keldon, and joining me today, as always, are my amazing panel of contestants and contributors, Zach, Bo, and Dennis. How's it going, y'all?
Hey.
I'm doing well. I'm a little hungry, and I'm going to be getting some food in just a moment, so if you hear any weird smacky sounds, that's me eating.
I've drank.
That's just the sound of musical theater being enjoyed.
Yeah, because we are, of course, recording this live in person and definitely on Friday, the day that this is coming out. What can people expect to see you eating tonight, since I guess it would be dinner time for the Friday Twitch stream that would be happening, Dennis?
I'm going to be eating from a local vegan place called Chicana Vegano.
I'm sorry, the answer I'm looking for is dat ass. Okay, better luck next time.
Not in a pandemic. Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
it's Friday, so my hangover
on.
is definitely gone. 100%.
Oh, shit. What if it isn't? Oh, that would be so fucked up.
Actually, for me, it's a picture of Dorian Gray situation where every photo of me gets more and more fucked up, but I feel better.
Oh God. I do wonder, like, if that wouldn't be like a fun premise, kind of like a mix of like the Golden Compass and Dorian Gray, where like you have like a demon, but the demon takes all of your damage, and so like it's however.
That's just
fucked up
JoJo's
your
Bizarre
demon
Adventure.
is.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that just Persona?
That's
Well,
like a million
fine.
things, and
Okay.
it'd be better
Japan's
as a
got
musical.
Yeah, Japan's already got it, and it would be better as a musical.
Well, actually, then that brings us to the game this week. Hamilton has had this weird resurgence on Disney Plus because weirdly every leftist hates it, but then all of us have extensive knowledge of it at the same point in time. It's this real kind of
No, it's like capitalism, how we all hate it, but we do know quite a bit about it.
That's true. That is probably going to be the best analogy for this. And it really inspired me to think about, well, what are generally considered 8 of the worst? Not saying that like it's the worst absolutely, because man, that is dependent on taste. And doing research into this, who knew that Broadway reviewers have wildly differing opinions on things? They are not one homogenous unit whatsoever. But these are 8 of the worst musicals that are being considered, or what are considered 8 of the worst. So I'm going to go ahead and read out them to you. It's going to be 8. We're then going to have them go off in a bracket, try and figure out who the quote-unquote winner is. Okay, y'all?
All right.
Let's do it.
Awesome. We have Dr. Zhivago versus Urban Cowboy. Then we have Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark versus Escape to Margaritaville.
Mm-hmm.
Third matchup is Carrie versus King Kong. And in the fourth matchup, we have Lestat versus Dance with the Vampires. So, are people at least tangentially aware of all of these titles and know maybe what they might be referring to?
Only some.
I mean, I'm aware of the properties that they're based off of, not
Fantastic.
necessarily these musical versions.
And I think,
Yeah,
honestly,
I
we're all
think
better
maybe
for
we
that.
should, as we go through these parts of the bracket, maybe give like a brief elevator pitch on some of these musicals, because I'm gonna say it right now, probably not a lot of people into Urban Cowboy, which is why it's on this list in the first place.
Yeah, I think that might be the case here. So, well, to give people a frame of reference, let's go ahead and dive into then the first matchup of Dr. Zhivago versus Urban Cowboy. Zhivago was a novel from the 50s that became a box office success when it hit the silver screen in the 60s, and then they decided to turn it into a musical in 2015, and it was a huge flop. Closed like after 23 performances, and the main problem with it, outside of just the concept, was that the music overwhelmed the lyrics, and so you could not hear what the people were saying because the music was so overpowering. But that's just the way that the whole thing was constructed. So it's not a flaw; it was a feature, as people might say.
Huh.
I mean, that's also how I typically. That's also how I typically write most of my stuff. Like, as long you don't have to worry about what I'm saying in my Snapchat video as long as the music is loud enough. So
there you go.
Also, I'm very high.
As long as your driving is
the
wiggly
video.
enough as you sing along to the radio, your Snapchat story can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Urban Cowboy, which are y'all familiar with Urban Cowboy?
I'm familiar with its Wikipedia page.
Right. It's
well.
It's
let me tell y'all what the musical plot is. You can tell me what the difference you might be able to notice here between it and then the film version. The synopsis of the musical is that a Texas honky tonk with a mechanical bull is the main setting for this country and western rom-com about a woman who has to choose between an ex-con and a hard-working good old boy.
I'm sorry, what? That's nothing
Might
like.
not be the urban cowboy that you are expecting.
No, where's John Travolta? Why didn't they just call it Urban Cowgirl?
It's interesting. On the other hand, though, imagine all those people who went in expecting it to be Midnight Cowboy for some reason.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Weirdly enough, might have made a better musical. I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
It totally. It's already a gay movie. Like, there you go.
Yeah, so you're already like
work's done
90% of
for
the way
you.
there. Yeah.
On the
All right.
bleeding
So
edge.
between the two of these, then.
Yeah.
Here, I gotta say that the music overpowering people's voices in a musical, that's better for me. So I'm gonna go with Urban Cowboy.
I mean, like, at least like Dr. Zhivago's its own thing too, right?
It's
Yeah,
a
I
book.
mean,
yeah.
it is a
Yeah,
book. No,
that's literally what I'm saying. Yeah, like, Dr. Zhivago. Not sure why they decided, hey, yeah, let's adapt this into a musical. Like, what setting really fits well with a musical? The Russian Revolution. Like, you have to fill the entire fucking stage because every song is a huge choir. Like, it doesn't work. How do you do the choreography for the Red Army Choir, right? Come on. So I think as much as that sounds like a hackneyed premise, I think Urban Cowboy is still gonna move on as far as bad musicals go.
Okay. So that's 2 for Urban Cowboy. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I think that only one of these shows was Tony Award nominated.
And which one was that?
It was definitely Urban Cowboy, actually.
Wait, no shit, seriously?
No, it was Tony Award nominated for best choreography.
Okay,
Wow.
but like that's one thing.
But,
It totally. It's
that is one
here's
thing
the thing,
that Dr. Zhivago.
no, but like you can't. But you can't just like be like.
Did Dr.
I'm-
Zhivago have a
this
fucking
is-
Tony?
The thing is, like, you can't just be like, well, you know what? I'm gonna be making fucking, Super Mario the movie, and instead it's like Mario's not even a fucking plumber. It's
I mean,
about
you
it's,
did
it's
watch
a fucking
the Super Mario movie, right?
I did, and guess what?
They did
It
change a
actually-
lot about that.
Hey, but Mario was a plumber.
True.
Hey, he had a brother
Yeah,
named Luigi. Like, like Urban Cowboy. The star is a woman. Like, why not just call it Urban Cowgirl?
You have to protect that IP. That way, then you can build out the massive urban cow person universe.
Urban Cowboy had over
like
30
extended
composers.
universe.
Had over 30 composers for their show.
Zhivago did?
No, Urban Cowboy had 30 composers and lyricists.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Well, yeah, because
Oh,
it's like
boy.
a bunch of fucking like country standards, basically.
Mm-hmm.
fucking boot scooting boogies on here.
Oh my god.
Yep.
And honestly, that's
Nothing
why.
worse than like knowing that was probably done in earnest too.
And honestly, that's why Dr. Zhivago is the worst. Musical.
Because you love to boot scoot boogie.
Yeah, I love the boot scooting boogie.
All right. Well, Urban Cowboy moves on. So
Urban
sorry
Cowboy
about that.
moves on.
Yeah. God,
Damn.
Zach, this just reminds me.
Damn.
It's that fucking Vine or what is it? Country Boy. That's all you
Country
are
Boy.
right now.
What?
True.
Country Boy, I love you.
Yeah.
I
That's you.
you know, they're gonna have to make that into a musical so I can watch it. I've not seen
God
this
damn it.
Vine.
How have you not seen this? It's one of the best Vines. Let's do new bracket.
Well, you called
Vines.
it a TikTok at the beginning, so make up your mind, Dennis.
Did I say TikTok? I could have said Vine.
Listen,
You said Vine.
It was a famous TikTok. It was all over Vine. One of the best things I've come across on IGTV. Anyways, it's a Quibi show. You need
Roll
to
back
see.
the tape. You who are
Oh
listening
my
here
God.
on,
Okay,
on
all right,
Friday,
next
roll
round,
back the
next
tape
round.
and let's keep going.
Laying them up.
All right, we have Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark versus Escape to Margaritaville, which is a Jimmy Buffett jukebox style musical.
Yeah, it's a James
Yeah,
Buffett piece.
So, not to
James
generalize
Buffet.
or like oversimplify, maybe, but if I had to give a plot summary, a little book report, if you will, on both these musicals, it's Spider-Man doing Spider-Man things and Jimmy Buffett doing Jimmy Buffett things, but people are singing in both. Is essentially what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Pretty much. It stars in Escape to Margaritaville, our two leads. One is a career woman, and the other one is a slacker bartender. Oh, I wonder how these two are ever gonna get along.
Is a neurotic psychiatrist, tall tale telling postman, and just a horrible alcoholic there as well. Like, good pull for all the Cheers heads in the audience tonight.
Oh man.
Great. Anyway,
I
cool. I'm a
honestly
boomer,
wish that you
obviously,
could see-
so Escape to Margaritaville moves ahead for me. Or no, sorry, Spider-Man does, because fuck that.
Okay.
I gotta
and,
say, so the Spider-Man this was infamous for being like in preview on Broadway for so long, because they couldn't get the technology down right for the web slinging. They also
they kept
couldn't.
on injuring the
Yeah.
the stunt people.
Yeah, I was gonna say the insurance on the show was also huge because they kept falling. I think someone eventually died or like broke a leg or something.
Hopefully,
Like-
only
like, I
broke a
really-
leg. One of these is a better option than the other, Dennis.
Right. What I'm saying is Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark is definitely the worst one because of the cost of insurance. That ticket price has got to go up so they can cover anything. Escape to Margaritaville, sure, it's a bunch of boring Jimmy Buffett stuff, but it's probably a little cheap because licensing Jimmy Buffett songs can't be that
Margaritaville is like this milk toast, like the same story that you see. I don't know if you go to any like any touristy areas, they all have like like shows that are going to be something like Margaritaville, but done in 5 minutes. Or if you go to Ren Fair, they have that exact show, but in 10 minutes. Whereas Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark has been described as the most technically complex show ever on Broadway, with 27 aerial sequences of characters flying and engaging in aerial combat. The production also includes a multitude of moving set pieces that put the audience in the middle of the action, and enough projections onto giant
they're
screens.
in the middle of the action, all right.
Enough projections onto giant screens that Bono has said that it is like a three-dimensional graphic novel.
Don't you love that about like where the first quote is clearly from the insurance adjuster? I mean, like the audience is in the way of the production.
Yeah, legally speaking, the audience knows and has signed off on that they are in danger, so we are fine. We are totally untouchable.
All I know
That is
yes.
on you guys.
I would like to sign up for the audience union. Thank you very much.
Music and lyrics by Bono and The Edge. Bono and the Edge.
Bono.
Listen,
Wait,
Well, obviously
that's
it's
in
the worst
That's
one. Yeah, fuck
Spider-Man.
this.
Oh, that's for sure. For sure, it's that. I would much rather listen to Jimmy Buffett than Bono.
what?
Are you kidding me? U2 is one of the worst sounds ever.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's
U2's fucking terrible.
yeah, but
I'll take
Just
I'll take
picturing,
Jimmy
like,
Buffett
Spider-Man.
a million times over
yeah,
U2.
but this is not.
Yeah.
This is not okay. The music and lyrics by Bono. This is not. I mean, this sounds like the thing that U2 was made to do.
No, Zach, it is a musical. That means that it is going to be like longer than a U2 album. It's going to be longer than the album that they forced onto your iPhones. No, absolutely not. Spider-Man is worse objectively now.
Yeah,
because
look,
Bono,
Spider-Man
Bono
worse.
wrote the music,
Look, it's a rock opera.
and
Oh,
so
It's
is
a circus
Margaritaville.
rock opera.
Margaritaville. Look. Listen. Surf rock is not the same as butt rock. Okay, I do not think that.
And-
I do not think that surf
and
rock
I will-
is rock in 2020. Surf rock is called surf rock, but it's no longer. It's just a flavor of like pop at this point.
Zach, I'm still saying
That's
that there's.
a
I would much rather
ridiculous
listen
take.
to. Yeah, it is, but I also would much rather listen to Jimmy Buffett for like 2 hours than Bono.
I don't know. I would just
All right,
put.
you hear that? Someone buy Dennis tickets both to Bono and to Jimmy Buffett. Only way to sort this out, I suppose.
Just gonna listen to
We'll get you up to Joshua
Sunday
Tree
Bloody
and/or
Sunday
Venice
on
Beach.
repeat. Is what I'm gonna
Oh
do.
my god, get out of this podcast.
Can you imagine Mary Jane looking at Peter Parker in the musical and being like, I just don't know if I'm better off with or without you? The audience
All right,
just-
next round. Let's move on. This
Yeah.
So just to be clear, Spider-Man advances.
Spider-Man
yes,
is worse.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right? Okay. Well, you have been outvoted twice so far, Zach. So I will go to you first for this next matchup here
Okay.
of Carrie versus King Kong.
First of
I've
all,
seen that movie and it fucking slaps.
how the fuck did they fit King Kong into the theater?
They're all just child actors.
Okay.
And but it's a real
It's
gorilla.
a regular gorilla and a bunch of kids on stage. Oh my god. Fuck
Still
yes.
less injuries than Spider-Man Into the Dark, but
Less
It's a very nice
Not by
gorilla.
less children injuries than Spider-Man Into the Dark. Follow-up question. Did this go exactly the same as was it the 2000 is King Kong what's the Jack Black one?
King Kong?
It's King
Is
Kong.
it just King
Yeah,
Kong?
it's
I
just
thought
called King
it's
Kong.
just
They're
called
all called
King
King
Kong.
Kong, man.
I got that. Whatever the Jack Black one where he brought it back and it was and they had King Kong like locked up on stage and then he broke out and that's how he got to New York City and all that stuff. Is that how it happens in the theater too? Like the you buy the ticket and then you go inside and you watch the first half, but then for the second half you have to like go out into. That's why it can only be done on Broadway, right?
Mhm. Okay, so
that's right.
according to this article at liveabout or liveabout.com, the King Kong King Kong himself was a puppet that was a technological feat to be sure, but one that infamously malfunctioned often.
Boo.
So yes, it did injure, let's assume, a child in the front row,
Yeah.
at least.
Okay, that's kind of
That's
rad
minimum.
though, because no, think about it. Think about it from like a diegetic standpoint. Like Spider-Man. If Spider-Man hurts somebody, like that sucks. If King Kong hurts somebody, that's the story right there, man. Like that's
There you go.
yeah.
Bo, you're so smart.
I'm on the forefront of musical theater, which is why they should let me just remake Hadestown, but it's all Tallahassee by the Mountain Goats, and that's my pitch. That's how I'm gonna make my $1 million. And
I'm
fly to
glad
Rio
you
or
saying
however the
that
fucking
can make
producers
people
goes.
realize that like they need to take our opinions serious.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
And-
that's my fucking resume right there.
I think I
That-
think even with a malfunctioning King Kong that is probably a better play than trying to do horror
Yeah, let's
Stephen
talk
King
Carrie the musical.
Stephen
Yeah.
King
Right.
horror on stage. Like
Well,
I know
here's-
we use the phrase, "No, that's a robot chicken bit," but Carrie the musical really sounds like a robot chicken bit.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So-
it does.
The only thing I know about Carrie the musical is before my school shut down because of COVID-19, I was taking vocal lessons, and the last one that we took, like we were going to sing something from like the professor asked us to pick a song from a musical that had like classically trained singers, so like Rodgers and Hammerstein, something like that, and some little tiny homosexual that wasn't me was like, "Can I sing this song?" And it was from Carrie the musical, and she was like, with the straightest face, just said, "No, because you like weren't listening to me when I said pick something from Rodgers and Hammerstein."
No. I think you misunderstood the assignment. You pick a good song from a good musical. Is that what the vibe was essentially? Oh my
Yes,
god.
I
That's
did
great.
I ended up singing "Over the Rainbow," but
Lovely.
yeah. But anyway, so that's literally the only thing I know about Carrie the musical is that small little homosexuals probably like it. So
Raymond the Animal
therefore
Crossing in your class.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just yeah.
therefore it can't be good.
I also have always
Yeah.
felt like an awkward teenage girl with telekinetic powers that has been dominated by my oppressive religious fanatic mother.
Yeah, nothing that you could relate to, I'm sure, in that musical.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
They're gonna laugh at me when I don't have telekinetic powers is the thing. So
But
It's
they
just
will
that
laugh
scene
at you.
from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they're imagining themselves, or Carrie's imagining herself, totally like throwing people around the room and flipping tables with her mind and stuff, but it's just her, gesturing around, screaming. It's great. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So where are we standing with these?
ooh,
here.
this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Zach, what about you?
I think
Let's
Carrie
go to
is
you
the
first.
worst. Is the worst choice here. So I think
He stands with women. I understand.
Hmm.
Yeah, between the two of these, I think trying to do like, unless you really camp it up, and I'm saying like really, like doing like a horror musical is like, come on, this is a joke. This is Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, actually. I hear
That'd
the
probably be a
musical
good
is,
one.
is pretty fucking fun. Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
did like a musical adaptation of it, and
Oh,
from what I
that's-
understand,
so good.
it's pretty
It's
nifty.
so good.
So Carrie advances
just-
in my
yeah.
book. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that it matters at this point, but I did see Call of Cthulhu, like a very small stage production of it, and they had a malfunctioning like giant Cthulhu puppet, and even though it malfunctioned, it was still kind of scary and like a lot of fun to watch. So even if the King Kong one malfunctioned, I'm pretty sure it was still pretty cool. So Carrie's got to go.
Gotcha. Well then, in the last matchup of the first round, it's a vampire matchup between Lestat,
Yeah, I
which is
really love the
take
vampire
on
around
the,
here.
Interview with a Vampire, that movie / book, and then we have Dance with the Vampires, which is another vampire movie, which I assume involves dancing of some kind. I know a little bit more, but I'm throwing it to y'all to talk about.
Well, so the thing is, I know nothing about Dance with the Vampires. Like, I'm looking it up. Oh, it's a Roman Polanski film. Okay, so
Yeah,
there
I'm
we
looking
go.
at this
Already-
right now, and
already a strike against it. Here's the thing. Anne Rice is kind of an asshole, though, and I know that Lestat is her thing. But yeah, she's kind of an asshole. But she didn't flee the country because she raped a child. So, and like we're still making him to be like some sort of great guy and giving him more money by licensing his film and making it into a shitty musical. So I'm gonna go with Dance of the Vampires just because I really don't like Polanski.
I'm looking
So,
at the Dance of
you
the
don't
Vampires
like-
wiki article right now, and there's a segment from the USA production of it titled "Casting Crawford, 9/11, and Other Disasters," and I'm reading this just mouth agape. This musical was dealing
ahead.
with some
No,
shit.
Go ahead and read some of it, please, because it's nice that they're like, Yeah, I would say that we casting this person is right up there with 9/11 in terms of the musical Broadway scene.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know where to start with this. But yeah, basically the summary of it seems to be like, yeah, casting was rough. They were briefly considering like redoing it entirely as like a Mel Brooks style comedy, and then 9/11 happened, and mercifully, like, just the logistic issues of involved with that really fucked the show up, I guess. So, wow. Cool. Well, all that said, I'm gonna start reading about Lestat and see what I think about that. If you want to riff for 20 minutes.
Dance of the Vampires. It was originally in the German language, and I think that is probably the superior way to listen to any musical.
That's just because you like German metal.
It's probably true.
There's something soothing about it, really.
Mhm.
I don't quite know what.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Confirmed. Zach likes Rammstein, which means he likes bad music.
Oof. Yeah.
I mean, you two pretty much cemented that. So let's, yeah.
Yeah. There were apparently 61 previews of this show. So, like, they had no clue what they wanted to do, basically up right until the end.
Yeah.
That sounds like a beautiful nightmare.
So
that sounds like an amazing clusterfuck. Yeah, Lestat, from everything I can tell, just seems like just generically musically, just the most
generically.
Like,
The score is by Elton John.
Oh, nifty! I didn't even see that.
See, that's
music
points
Elton
in my
John,
book.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
positive
I
points
think-
in my book.
I think this comes out to a solid B+. Having not actually seen it, just read the fucking wiki for it. But yeah. I think Dance of the Vampires definitely advances then.
Well, yeah, I mean, anything with the hit Total Eclipse of the Heart, I guess, is going to find a way to turn around every now and then. You just,
man.
Man.
Also, Lestat was the highest earning pre-Broadway play that beating out Wicked and Cats.
Jesus
Wild.
Christ.
So
fucking people love them some vampires.
And one of these is like fun and like quirky and like not terrible, and one of these is like very very German. Just reading the synopsis, just very German.
All right,
it's not
cool.
bad. It's just German. So might as well be bad.
This synopsis applies to the European and Japanese productions only. The Broadway version was heavily rewritten. Yeah, they rewrote all the. I don't know. It's the innkeeper who spends most of his free time lusting after his beautiful chambermaid.
There's a song called Garlic. It's just called Garlic. That's the whole song. Yeah. they bite into a fucking piece of garlic bread and it's just a solid 5 minutes of screaming. That's why they had to cast so many different actors, is because they just blow out their fucking vocal cords with 5 minutes of straight garlic-based screaming. God, give that a listen. All right. Well, I'm glad we could sort that out. Let's return to the top of the order.
That's right. All right, Simmies. We got Urban Cowboy.
Oh, we've got semis, all right.
Talking about Urban Cowboy over here.
Yeah,
that's right.
Talking about Urban Cowboy and Spider-Man. See, if they just mashed up those musicals, I think it'd be really good, actually.
Yeah.
Like, that's the solution. Obviously, just put Spider-Man on a mechanical bull. That's not going to hurt anybody. It's not elaborate.
So
there you go.
So it's Boot Scootin' Web Shooty, I guess it would be the name.
Absolutely.
Of the song.
There you go.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, top half of the costume is the Spider-Man costume. Bottom half of the costume, Daisy Dukes and some cowboy boots. Like, that's a fucking look. All right? Like, that's perfect.
That's your Halloween costume.
Yeah, I mean, since every Halloween costume we're going to have to work a mask in somehow anyway, because, Lord knows we're not going to be out of this shit till 2023. Like, Spider-Man, Daisy Dukes. And I have to explain, oh yeah, it's a reference to my podcast, which immediately Immediately, oh yeah, my Halloween costumes are reference to my podcast. I mean, guarantees people are going to be social distancing.
Yeah, or gonna get a lot of pussy. There you go.
That's right.
Just drowning in it. Drowning in it.
Avalanche.
In my Spider-Man costume.
Being drowned.
Half Spider-Man.
Half
I'm sorry.
Spider-Man.
So you'll shut up about your podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Being waterboarded.
All right.
Just to be like, stop talking.
So which of these is it, folks?
Yeah. So on the one hand, again, it's the movie that musical that should have been Urban Cowgirl, as Dennis so aptly named. And then, what even is the plot of Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark?
I would love to know.
It's Spider-Man doing Spider-Man shit. I'm telling you.
And
then a bunch of audience members die because of that.
I type in Spider-Man T, and then it's Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark Death. Is like the first suggestion.
Jesus. Yeah. No. As I was, fucking the Thanos character shows up and does an epic Reddit upvote, downvote, Funko Pop snap, and half the audience just fucking disappears. Is what happens in that. So.
Boys, there are 2 versions of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark because they couldn't get the script like working for the first time they did the run between 2010 and 2011.
Is that the Imagine Dragons version?
That must be the 2011 to 2014 version.
Okay, yeah.
My God. Okay, so hold on. In the first version, the first act, number one, 2-act structure because it's Broadway's, so let people understand that.
Of course.
But at the end of Act 1, like he beats the Green Goblin or whatever, and then like in the second act is basically all post of where they're just like, all right, and because he beat the Green Goblin, now here are all of his other villains: Carnage, Swarm, Kraven the Hunter, Electro, and the Lizard. Which, I mean, like, Broadway musical version of Kraven the Hunter, that guy absolutely fucks. I want everyone to envision that guy's outfit, but somehow more Broadwayified. Like, Jesus, God.
Oh, yes, please.
All right, so I think I see where the web is swinging,
Oh my
so
God!
to speak.
Hold on. In the second version, I'm gonna read you the first sentence. Okay. It says, at Midtown High School in Queens, New York, local teenager Peter Parker gives a book report about Arachne, goddess of the weavers. That's the first sentence.
I'm telling you, every musical is just a shittier version of Hadestown.
It's, oh my God.
The first one
like
is
how?
like how Spider-Man defeats all of his arch enemies, and Arachne is trying to defeat him but can't, using all of those enemies as well. The second version 2, is basically how Peter gets his powers and then defeats the Green Goblin.
Right.
A story we've
Also-
never seen before.
Yeah, much less impressive.
Also, one of the villains is named Swiss Miss, which just, I mean, copyright.
Yeah, this
infringement
musical's
aside.
dog shit. That moves ahead. Absolutely.
yeah
I also don't like. Why the subtitle "Turn Off the Dark"? Like, what does that have to do with any of this?
Well, it's because of the lighting issues in the theater. That, like, again, it's an insurance thing. Like, they're saying, like, oh yeah, turn off the dark. Spider-Man's gonna, and you're liable if you get hit by something in the dark. I don't know. That's nothing.
Yeah,
the
whatever.
alternate
Spider-Man.
actor for Spider-Man in the play was his name was Jake Epstein.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Dun,
There you
dun,
go.
dun.
Eye emoji. All right. Cool. So I'm guessing Spider-Man advances then.
It's Spider-Man.
All right.
Yeah, spaghetti western play. It'll do. But
Yeah,
Spider-Man, for shame.
that's forever,
How
baby.
could they spend $70 million?
It's all
That's-
insurance.
It's really who they wanted. You know?
Yeah. So
And I bet you Bono wanted a lot of that money too.
damn. Our next one was
Oh my God. The guy who originally played Spider-Man played Orpheus in the original Broadway cast of Hadestown. And he
There you
also
go.
played Dorian Gray on the Showtime series Penny Dreadful. Bo, it's all coming
telling ya.
together for you.
I'm telling you, everything. Actually, no, not just every musical. Every piece of media ever, fucking is just Hadestown, but worse.
Bo,
Take that
Bo
to the
just says,
bank.
or you've just been on like a Wikipedia binge and we just don't know it. Like you were like half asleep while doing this, and it's just somehow in your brain.
this means I need to watch.
I just really like
Hadestown, right?
Hadestown. It's good.
I mean, every
All right.
horror story is the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. Carrie versus Dance with the Vampires.
Yeah, that's right. So we got psychic chick, right? Or telekinetic chick
Telekinetic yeah.
versus
yeah,
versus
telekinetic.
a whole bunch of vampires dancing around.
Here's the thing. There's probably some kitschy value to Carrie. Like they have the plot, they knew it. Dances with Vampires, it sounds like they couldn't even figure out if they were going to be able to make it a musical because of all the disasters, including 9/11.
Is it going to be in English? First question.
Also, will it be better or worse if the audience can understand the lyrics?
Oh God.
I mean,
Yeah,
the final scene of Dance with the Vampires is just the Constantine, not Constantine.
No, yeah, John Constantine. Fucking
John Constantine.
Keanu Reeves shows up.
Yeah. No, what's I can't think of the other one where he has the crossbow and he's a vampire hunter.
Van Helsing?
Van Helsing.
Yeah, Van Helsing.
Yeah, it's just the Van Helsing thing where they're at the giant ball of all the vampires. And
They should make a Van Helsing musical. That'd be good.
honestly,
Be a lot like
With Hugh
Hadestown.
Jackman? they could get him back for that.
they could.
Yeah. Notoriously, everybody loves Hugh Jackman in their musicals.
Mm-hmm.
He loves musicals like more than movies, Bo. I
Yeah.
think that he would be.
Yeah, no, he's very good on Broadway. Like, honestly, his talent is.
Yeah,
stronger
no.
than his
I'm just
screen.
doing
Yeah.
the dumb fucking Les Mis joke, but actually, I recently found out, apparently, in that movie, they had them do, like, fucking, like, 10, 12 takes, hours a day, and it's like, you can't sing that much. You'll die. You'll die, huge Axeman.
Especially like with the camera being like right in front of his face with how the director went just all the way through. He's just
No,
freaking
yeah, we need to
hour
make sure
9.
this this entire movie is basically in Jean Valjean's nose. Otherwise, why fucking bother?
tiny bit of cocaine is showing yet again.
All right, so I Dennis, I agree with you. There's definitely like you could do some horror camp with Carrie. So just even the potential of that being good is better than whatever Dance with the Vampires has to offer.
Turn around. That's all I have to offer until you just turn around. Only thing I know about the movie.
Yeah, I don't
right.
feel like even Stephen King's like coked out storytelling is there's no way that's terrible on Broadway. Like you have so much.
Where's
Carrie-
Cujo the musical?
Oh,
I mean, honestly, like, I'm really hoping that that's what they do when they make the gritty version of Clifford the Big Red Dog. It's just Cujo.
All
Kong
right, so
versus Clifford the Big Red Dog.
it's all Cannibal Corpse songs.
Jesus, yes,
God.
actually.
All right,
All
then.
right, so-
Final round, y'all.
God.
Yeah, that's right. And I think what really is going to be just the classic issue of battle to the death of our generation here. It is going to be Spider-Man versus Dancing with Vampires.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing sums up the millennial experience more than being pitted between, like just a bad, generic, poorly run superhero thing that actually ends up getting some people killed, or a Something based on the work of a pedophile that was waylaid by 9/11, but still went on regardless. I mean, shit. That's
At what
just
point
that's
do you
just
think
November.
that
That's
they-
who we're voting for.
I mean, do you think that this production is cursed? No. Everything's fine. Literally, just has one of the nation's worst tragedies happen. But we'll get that pedophile musical out in no time. Don't you worry. We'll rally together.
God.
All right.
I feel like this
again,
has been like this has actually been done in so many countries. Dance of the Vampire has been done in so many countries, and for so long actually. It has shows in Copenhagen in 2020.
Well, to be fair, Zach, the reason Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark does not show in other countries is the same reason other countries don't sell assault rifles at like convenience stores like we do. It's just too dangerous.
That's true.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
2010 Tony Awards, Sean Reyes ran on stage dressed as Spider-Man, struggling comically to sing through The Mask. Even Conan O'Brien is dunked on the Spider-Man show. The Spider-Man show isn't played in other countries because the cost is so high. Like it's $75 million, and typically Broadway shows cost $15 million, and that's because it's $1 million a week. The weekly production budget is $1 million.
Christ.
Jesus. Yeah, only we could only we, the sick, sad culture that we are, could sink that much money into Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Yeah. And you know what the Spider-Man needs? What? Some Greek mythology shoved up its own ass. Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's just Hades. It's Hades Town all the way down, baby.
You know, maybe if Evan Rachel Wood hadn't left the show, then it would have been okay.
It had Evan Rachel Wood in it. Oh, man. Talk about talented. She just went on to do Westworld instead. So,
Evan Rachel Wood and Alan Cumming
Oh, wow.
were originally.
Well, then.
If only.
Well,
we know. I think we know which one
We've
is.
got to choose a shit musical at some point. Yeah.
Does anybody
Yeah.
think that Dance the Vampires is the worst musical here?
Honestly, like Spider-Man just sounds like a fucking nightmare to be. Like, even just to show up to the theater, it sounds like a nightmare.
This is by no means.
Even to be outside the theater.
This is by no means a us saying that we support Roman Polanski in any way.
We're saying it's one of the worst, maybe. Huh? One of the
Yeah.
worst. Not the worst, though. There are some things that are worse than pedophilia, and that is being a comic book fan.
I mean, it's kind of a square rectangle situation, unfortunately. So,
I just want.
are we saying it's Spider-Man?
I
then?
just want ethics in my Broadway play journalism.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so who's voting for Spider-Man?
You open up the playbill and like the first 3 pages, instead of being like, oh, here are fucking $1,000 supporters with special chairs named after them, it's just paragraphs and paragraphs of this is why Anita Sarkeesian should never be allowed to go outside ever again and can't talk about video games and women.
And the last
Spider-Man.
19 pages are just waivers. By accepting this playbill, you are hereby agreeing to the following things happening to you.
Have we done a fucking terrible hackneyed break a leg joke yet? Have we done that at all?
Oh, well, we should. We also haven't
All
done
right.
the hackneyed, I've heard of Dances with Wolves, but with vampires, that's ridiculous.
God, that sucks. That sucks so hard, Kelton. Oh my god.
Especially since
All right.
the Dances with Wolves Broadway musical was considered very good.
Really? Well, that's lovely. That's
Probably,
great.
I don't know.
What
It
about the
wasn't on this
Avatar
list.
one? What about the Avatar musical?
Depending on which Avatar this was, I may actually want to watch that. Is it the blue Avatar or is it the
It's
the
both.
Airbender.
It's both, actually. It's a crossover.
Oh boy.
just a real meeting of the minds kind of situation. That's what
Anyway, I'm voting. I'm voting Spider-Man.
I'm also voting Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, I guess again to continue my metaphor from earlier, my choice just does not matter. So, Spider-Man, vampires, whatever.
Hell yeah. Well, we did it. We found out what the worst musical is in our opinion. In other words, it's the comic book one. So, yeah, suck it, nerds.
Take that, nerds.
Yeah, what all do we have to plug?
We're streaming.
We're streaming tonight, our stream, where we do things on stream. Probably The Sims again.
Yeah, we gotta see more of like dump truck Bo.
Yeah, we gotta
my fucking juicy cheeks.
Hell yeah. All right, well, we are going to go rush off, I guess, to go do that. Do a quick behind-the-scenes change. If Act 1 is this, Act 2 is the Twitch.
Please
thing,
keep
right?
your head down and your arms in your seat at all times so that the scenes do not remove them as they fly over you.
Please buy a $13 glass of wine with a little dolphin sticker on the front that'll come off as soon as you leave.
It's a dolphin
Just do
sticker that we have that's like sealing it, like it's over the lid to like seal it, so that you know that it's sealed. So you know that Bo hasn't gotten into it because Bo runs the snack stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm too theater kid to be allowed anywhere near the actual production, so they've just got me running the rest of the show. Perfect.
Terrible.
Christ alive.
Anything else? Follow us on social media. Our Instagram is over 1,000 followers now, and that's cool. Follow our subreddit, which is bigger than Chapo Trap
Bigger than
House.
Jesus.
Has any right to be. Yeah.
Our subreddit is bigger than Chapo Trap House.
Chapo
That
the
is true.
musical?
Oh,
How about that?
God, I hadn't thought about saying it like that. Jesus.
Reddit the musical?
Chapo Trap House, the musical about how a podcast happens. When are we going to get our first podcast musical?
It'll be a Marin musical.
God.
I'm just saying.
That's terrible. All right. Well, I guess that just about ends our show. Let us know how much you enjoy our game show episodes.
Yell at us about musicals on Twitter, please.
Yeah, that thing that all of our fans have a deeply vested interest in. Right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Well, we love you. Bye.
Howdy, y'all. Don't forget to follow our link tree in the show notes to discover new things like our Discord, social media platforms, and all the places where you can listen to our podcast. Word of mouth is the best way to introduce us and other leftist creators to friends, family, coworkers, your AA buddies. Community is about more than hot takes online. And if you want to support our efforts, you can donate to us at patreon.com/psychicdolphingarage, which is spelled how it sounds. Hope to see you on the stream tonight. Enjoy this music by JJ Demon.
How the fuck I still got a full head of hair? Not a single gray. Fuck the cops, family first, every single day. Bringing a charm when I ring the alarm. My arm's got a box cutter insignia. We gotta abolish ice, we gotta abolish ice, abolish it. No need to apologize, the Holocaust abolishes. For no reason we colonize the land and put up monuments. Dope needles, dollar signs, the globe stands in astonishment. I hope there'll be a punishment. I really wanna get bloody. I really wanna stand in judgment of anybody taking money from anybody in the struggle. Anybody on a budget. Poor people getting 10 to 20 for some dumb shit. Corporations incorporating a bloodlet. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words, this coup will not be bloodless. Mark my fucking words.